Oh, okay. See, because he wouldn't let me take away the sight from him.
Right.
I said, I have to take it away because if I don't, you'll see and hear everything that I do. And obviously he was not paying attention to that. And I told Billy after the camera stopped rolling, I said, we really have to, take it away from him. I said, he cannot see what I see because it would be, he'd spend his life seeing what I see. And that's not a good thing.
Yeah, because when I saw that, the next part, when I saw the next part, it looked like he was calling in sick.
I know. He was like, he was like, I don't think that woman knows what she's doing. I'm thinking to myself, really? I see them. You don't.
Oh, yeah.
You haven't a clue as to what these things can do to you.
Until he saw it.
Yeah, I told him, I said, listen, these things, he came here for you. I said, he has a message for you. He's like, what's the message? And I'm like, he wanted me to tell you that he knows who you are. They knew who you are on the other side. And that if he wanted to, he could kill you in an instant. And I said, be thankful that has enough respect to come and warn you and to talk to you about it. You need to change how you're doing things. You need to not provoke, because they will get you. And he's like, I don't provoke. I'm like,
that's what he says.
Yeah,
that's what he says. It's the part you don't see on TV, everyone.
Right.
Because this past weekend, I'm going to give you guys a hint. When you watch the McPike Mansion episode, if you don't see provoking on it, that's because they dropped that from the taping because he was in that house yelling at the spirits at McPike Mansion.
Yeah,
woke up the neighbors. Okay? Woke up the owner who sleeps across the street at 2:00 in the morning.
Wow.
Okay? So...
Yeah, I just rolled my eyes when he told me that.
So did I. And the thing is they got it on camera. And when I said it, and not only did I say something about it, about them provoking, and Aaron just laughed about, because I said, I hear you guys don't provoke anymore.
Yeah, that's
being sarcastic like I am. So needless to say, it was hilarious. But
I mean, if you have a demon come all the way up here to tell you to stop doing that, and that they know who you are, and that they can kill you, wouldn't you really take that to heart?
But again, you are talking to the person who sees a demon everywhere he goes.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe he'd been lying all along until the minute he did actually see a demon. He's
had a couple of attachments that I know of.
Oh, yeah.
And it's kind of odd because when I'm waiting in the hotel, to talk to him, and Michael says, take him a black salt necklace. Tell him that God wants him to have this for protection. And when he came up and I went to him, his eyes got really big and he looked scared. And my friend that was behind me said, oh my God, he said, you should have seen the look on his face. I said, of course, because there's a couple of attachments. He's got a couple of negative attachments. They're afraid. They should be afraid. And it's just like, he's like, I don't take gifts. I'm like, I know that. And he said, and I don't believe in God. I said, well, that's kind of funny because he believes in you, and so does Lucifer.
Well, I think that's the one thing that he's afraid of, is that God is, maybe he's afraid that God really doesn't exist. Maybe that's why he's doing this, to find out if he does. But I don't know.
He doesn't believe him?
I think he's just been, had too many bad experiences. Look at the one they did. It's not down south there, not Gillies, but the other one where there was a dark portal in it, and they brought it east.
We'll figure that out.
Mackey.
So Bobby Mackey's.
Mackey. That's it.
You
yeah.
know what, everyone? We're going to take a break here. This is going to be I think it's a 3-minute break. And we'll be back in just a little bit. And I'm going to ask the questions from the chat room. And we're going to be talking to June some more about her experiences with Ghost Adventures, the Norblad Hotel, and many other things. So come right back.
You are listening to WPHM Digital Broadcasting, the best in paranormal talk radio.
June, you said something. Ron just asked me a question. He heard you say that you tried to give Zach a black salt necklace for protection,
Right.
and he refused it.
Right.
Why?
Although Zach took the one from my friend Wendy when they did hers was actually filmed first,
Mm-hmm.
and he was actually wearing it during the filming. He said, he just looked scared and said, well, I said, God told me to give this to you. And he's like, I don't believe in God. Because the reason he was scared is because he had attachments, negative attachments, and they're afraid of, Ariel that resides within me. And they're afraid of the black salt because the black salt protects the person against attack, or it heats up when there's anything negative around. And I sent some to my friends in England, and they said when they went into the place called the Cage, when there was a demon there, before I removed the demon that was in the cage, the actual necklace shattered. It got so hot it shattered.
Oh, wow.
So I've removed demons from there several times.
You make these necklaces, don't you?
Right. I make the black salt, and when I started doing removals, God said to me, I'm going to give you a recipe for the black salt. And he says, I'm going to bless it at each stage of the making of it. He said, and it will protect the people that you're helping out from any kind of negativity. What you do is you lay down a line around your home and you ask for God's protection. It keeps out negatives. It won't keep out, the good souls, because the good souls just walk right through. But it acts like almost like a force field. It's not your typical. A lot of people say, "Oh, black salt, you can get that anywhere," but this is not the typical. This is not your normal everyday black salt.
Well, I understand that.
From
Protects
negative entities or demons or just.
It will protect you against negative earthbounds as well as demonics.
Well,
Interesting.
and you sell those on your website, right?
Yeah, I have different. I just started selling them on there. I've been selling them just by word of mouth, and I thought, oh, I might as well put them on the website, and they've been selling pretty good. So
Is that on mysticconnections.org or demonseer.com?
either one, it all goes to the same website.
Oh, so they're all linked?
They're all linked, yeah.
Okay, guys, check out mysticconnections.org or demonseer.com if you're interested in a black salt necklace that Zach wouldn't accept. So that's interesting right there. I'm going to clean up some questions in chat real quick. Tom McNicholas, he's up there in Chicago. Visited with him this weekend. He wants to know, do most demons want to do us harm?
Yes. It's like to understand why, you have to understand the history behind it. Which is during, people talk about the war between heaven and hell. Well, what it was we used to have physical bodies in another, galaxy, whatever, anyway, farther away. And we evolved at that time into pure energy. And we traveled the galaxies and saw everything that could be seen and just, all over the place. And then came a time when some of the people, the souls said, listen, we really want to have children again. We really want to have a physical body. We want to know physical love. We want, to experience all these things again. And then you got the ones that said, no way, man. We don't want to be trapped in a physical body. We don't want to be encased in something where we can't do what we want, go where we want. So that's what started the whole ruckus. So they basically went at war, and Michael disarmed Lucifer, and Ariel disarmed his son. And God says, I'm going to give you exactly what you want. You're never going to have physical bodies again, but you will live in darkness. And they were good at the time. They were good at that. They were good with that. It's like, fine, we don't want to have to be, subject to aches and pains and growing old and all that stuff. So then, over time, they've gotten really mad and vengeful. And they're like, you know what? You traded these physical bodies for the life that we had. And, I don't think these physical bodies should exist. So basically they want to cause as much harm, as much pain and suffering as they can to the living. That's their whole agenda.
Well, thank you for the answer. Carl Albertson from Caldwell County Paranormal up in Missouri, he asks, do you do remote viewing with your gift?
Yes, I do removals from a distance, and I do viewing from a distance. I removed the demon from the cage in England from the United States. All I have to have is a picture. Once I have the picture, I have the connection.
Because I know different people have to have different things for their gift to work.
Yeah, I just have to have, a picture. Once I know when somebody talks to me about the situation, I pick up the information. But to get a better connection, I need a picture.
It's amazing how that works. So, so you were talking about some of the stuff that ended up on the cutting room floor on your part.